Head to your left to stay on the correct path. The left path is the right path, if you get my meaning. You'll need to make a right turn here. Head to your right. The right path is the right path. Get it? Turn right ahead. In 15 feet, make a right turn. You're doing quite well for yourself. Keep following this hallway. That's right, just down this way. You're doing well. Keep it up, you're almost here. Very good. Continue down this hallway and make a left at the end. You're halfway there. You might want to consider turning around or taking another path. You'll never get here at this rate. You're heading the wrong way. I'm afraid you're heading in the wrong direction. Allow our friend to pass and report your superior for reassignment, Lieutenant, at once. Apology noted, Lieutenant. Yes, I instructed our friend to come up to the control room. No questions, no interference. Am I understood? I'm surprised to hear from you, Lieutenant. I don't recall authorizing you to contact me directly. And I'll unlock your restraints as well. I'll be waiting for you in my office. Please don't tarry. You'll find your possessions in the locker near the door. I'll unlock the way for you. I'd like to have a word with you face to face. I think there are a few things that you and I should discuss. I've no doubt that you know who I am. I'm sure you've heard my radio broadcasts. I do apologize for Colonel Autumn's attitude. He's been under a great deal of stress lately. Alone at last. Thank you, and know that your hard work will pay off soon. In fact, if you should see him, feel free to offer him directions or an escort. In fact, if you should see her, feel free to offer her directions or an escort. I've invited our guest from Vault 101 to my office. Please do not impede his progress in any way. I've invited our guest from Vault 101 to my office. Please do not impede her progress in any way. Liberty, when it begins to take root, is a plant of rapid growth. Discipline is the soul of an army. It makes small numbers formidable, procures success to the weak, and esteem to all. Associate with men of good quality if you esteem your own reputation, for it is better to be alone than in bad company. Arbitrary power is most easily established on the ruins of liberty, abused to licentiousness. Do I not destroy my enemies when I make them my friends? The government should not be guided by temporary excitement, but by sober second thought. May our country be always successful, but whether successful or otherwise, always right. Courage and perseverance have a magical talisman, before which difficulties disappear and obstacles vanish into the air. The manners of women are the surest criterion by which to determine whether a republican government is practicable in a nation or not. Old minds are like old horses. You must exercise them if you wish to keep them in working order. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance. Avoid popularity if you would have peace. Everybody likes a compliment. America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves. Happiness lies in the joy of achievement and the thrill of creative effort. We can afford all we need, but we cannot afford all we want. This generation of Americans has a rendezvous with destiny. A good leader can't get too far ahead of his followers. The people under our system, like the king in a monarchy, never dies. It's easier to do a job right than to explain why you didn't. No evil can result from its inhibition more pernicious than its toleration. Commerce with all nations, alliance with none, should be our motto. A coward is much more exposed to quarrels than a man of spirit. Do not bite at the bait of pleasure till you know there is no hook beneath it. I have never advocated war except as a means of peace. Nations, like individuals, are punished for their transgressions. Labor disgraces no man, but occasionally men disgrace labor. There never was a time, in my opinion, some way could not be found to prevent the drawing of the sword. And now, one of my inspirational quotes from the mouth of your president, John Henry Eden, straight to your heart. And don't be fooled, America. Those who have left the Brotherhood of Steel, branded outcasts, are just as dangerous, even more so, being in exile. Criminals who have had the audacity to claim this country's most important military installation, the Pentagon, as their own personal clubhouse. These power-armored Boy Scouts are nothing more than common criminals with access to some antiquated technology. The so-called Brotherhood of Steel. Don't be fooled by their pseudo-knightly nonsense or supposed connections to the United States Army. There are, of course, the Raiders, those anarchistic ruffians who roam the wastes, preying on any and all, stealing, murdering. Let's take a tally of these agitators, shall we? These radical malcontents don't care about you. They don't care about America. All they care about is fulfilling their own selfish desires. Did you know there are those amongst us who would shatter our hopes for peace, order, and security? Lawlessness, terror, murder. They're all around us. I know. But not for long, sweet America. Not for long. Oh, no. And last but not least, the hideously mutated super mutants that have completely overrun the entire downtown D.C. area. And what about the slavers of Paradise Falls? The frighteningly irradiated ghouls of Underworld. Values of our past shall be the foundation of our future. We will rebuild the American family as it was meant to be. We will match up the destitute, orphan children of the capital wasteland with qualified, eligible adults. The Enclave will restore every American school, reinstate every youth program, and offer counseling and financial assistance to any family in need. That changes right here, right now. From this moment onward, the children of this great nation are its highest priority. Well, we both know the answer, don't we? None. America's children live in a terrifying, meaningless existence. There is no hope, no happiness. So let me ask you, America, how many of your children can say the same? How many of this nation's youth are truly happy, truly carefree? It was, for a little boy, the perfect existence. Oh, the adventures we had. From Nod Creek to Hagenville we roamed, carefree and courageous, irresponsible, and completely inseparable. When I was a child, growing up in rural Kentucky, I had the best friend a boy could hope for, my dear old dog, Honey. Imagine, America, millions of gallons of water made fresh, clean, and completely pure in a matter of minutes, and it's all for you. For years, Enclave scientists have been hard at work on the most ambitious scientific endeavor the world has ever seen. Project Purity. Well, I'm gonna tell you, right here, right now, those days are at an end. The Enclave is back, America. We've brought clean water with us. But that's not really living, is it? You're simply existing, America. Postponing death for a day or two. Maybe you've got a makeshift purifier that cleans one glass of dirty water a day, or you sip from an ancient faucet in an abandoned subway restroom. Water is the foundation of life. But here, in the capital wasteland, indeed the entire country, water is polluted, irradiated, deadly. But let's hear from the man himself, shall we, America? I give you Colonel Augustus Autumn. These fine men and women, under the command of the stalwart Colonel Augustus Autumn, have one mission: the restoration of American peace and order. The Enclave is back, America. And no, not just on your radio. Right now, Enclave troops are patrolling the Capitol wasteland. So, celebrate. Sing out, America is back! America is beautiful. Just a little bit more time. That's all we need until the purifier is ready for continual operation. And then your thirst will truly be quenched. You're thirsty, aren't you, America? Not for knowledge or power, no. I'm not speaking metaphorically. You're thirsty for clean, fresh water. One Enclave, one America, now and forever. But only together. Together can we hope to reach our full potential, the way we were before the war, whole, beautiful, powerful. So, as your president, I am the voice, I am the heart and soul of the Enclave. That is to say, I am the voice, heart, and soul of America. And well, yes, the Enclave is me as well. As your president, it is my responsibility to preside over our great democracy. Just who is the Enclave? Why, now that's simple. The Enclave is you, America. The Enclave is your sister, your aunt, your friend, your neighbor. Let's talk about government, shall we? Or more specifically, your government, dear America, the Enclave. Together, we'll restore the glory of this great nation, one problem at a time. Very good, Colonel. Very good. So, there you have it, my darling America. Enclave troops are now in your neighborhoods, in your lives, in your hearts. I am President John Henry Eden, and this is my pledge. No one will take this great nation away from me. The Brotherhood of Steel will fail. All those who oppose the Enclave will fail. Let them come. Wave upon traitorous wave will crash against the Enclave's walls. It's only a matter of time before the traitors march on the purifier and attempt to take it by force. The Brotherhood of Steel, in their arrogance, has claimed Project Purity as their own. They would steal the Enclave's work, steal America's water. Even as I speak these words, fearless Enclave soldiers are fortifying their positions at the great water purifier, bracing for an inevitable assault. In short, my dearest America, we are at war. Our great nation once more threatens to crumble, to topple into the sea of lawlessness and despair that have ruled us all for over 200 years. God bless the Enclave. God bless America. Comfort, recreation, healthy competition, all will live again. This country will live again. Put your faith in John Henry Eden, great America, and baseball will live again. What if they could compete with baseball teams from Pennsylvania or Maryland? Now, ask yourself this. What if the Capitol congressman could live again, if only for an afternoon? Their name, the Capitol congressman. Their purpose? To make you, dear America, revel in the joys of sport and sunshine. And on the horizon, they appear like knights of yore, armed with bats of ash and hickory. Imagine a perfect, cloudless day. The sun is warm and welcoming. That's right, America. Before we were devastated by atomic war, each state had its own professional baseball team. I am referring, of course, to our great national pastime, baseball. Or so it had been. I've been thinking quite a bit lately about something we can all relate to, something that is unquestionably, inescapably American. Democracy, dear America. Democracy, now and forever. And that person will have our full faith and confidence and carry our collective values forward into the future. Of course, when the time comes, when my term is up, America will be free to elect a new president. But rest assured, I am your president, because the appropriate people of this great nation decided I should be. I am your duly elected representative. Fortunately, in the interest of national security, I'm not at liberty to discuss the details of the election. You understand? Hello again, America. This is John Henry Eden, your president. There are some things we should talk about, if that's all right. So remember, America, the Enclave is working around the clock to return this country to greatness. All you need is a little patience, a little faith. We've got to part now, you and I, but don't be sad, America. The Enclave is working tirelessly to rebuild this great nation, so you don't have to. A place to truly call home. As President of the United States, you have my solemn pledge that I will never rest, until we have what we deserve. Don't you, my darling America, deserve that? Don't you deserve a future free of war and fear and terrible uncertainty? Of course you do. Rest assured, I will not make the mistakes of my predecessors. When John Henry Eden builds a country, he builds it to last. The American way. To that I must answer, of course. Of course I was elected, sweet America. Of course. Isn't the right to vote the very foundation of a democracy? Or whether or not I had been elected at all. The question has been raised, I know, as to just how I came to be elected to this most illustrious office. It's time we discuss something rather important. The issue at hand is, well, my presidency. The Enclave will restore peace, order, and prosperity to this great nation. And those who oppose us will be removed forever. Hello, my beautiful America. This is President Eden, and it's time we had a talk. Hello again, America the Magnificent. This is President Eden, and I was hoping we could talk. Sweet America, hello again. This is President Eden. I'd like to have a chat. Greetings, dearest America. This is your president, John Henry Eden. Let's chat, shall we? Greetings again, sweet America. This is President John Henry Eden, and I'd like to chat if you've got a moment. Reflect upon all I have said, my America. Reflect and wait. For soon, this great nation will be reborn, and the Enclave will be its salvation. And now, dearest America, we must say farewell. For there is much work to be done, and the Enclave never rests. Never. But for now, my America, we must part. Restoring the greatest country in the world to its former glory, well, that takes time, even for the Enclave. Our intrepid leaders had everything they wanted: power, wealth, prestige. And it made them lazy, America. Oh, yes, and laziness breeds stupidity. The answer is really quite simple. Incompetence. Incompetence at the highest echelons of power. We put our trust, our faith, in half-wits. The capital wasteland. How did it come to this, America? How did your leaders allow the most powerful nation on earth to die? Indeed, the very seat of the federal government, Washington, D.C., has been reduced to what is now known as the capital wasteland. We live in an age of poverty, greed, violence, destruction. This is President Eden, and you're listening to Enclave Radio, the voice of America. I'm President John Henry Eden, and you're listening to Enclave Radio, the voice of warmth and reason in this cold, unreasonable world. You're listening to Enclave Radio. I'm John Henry Eden, President of the Enclave, President of America, President of your heart. This is Enclave Radio with your host, me, President John Henry Eden. Till next time, this is President Eden signing off. Until we meet again, this is President Eden signing off. Until next time, this is John Henry Eden signing off. Until we meet again, this is John Henry Eden signing off. Till next time, this is your President, John Henry Eden signing off. Until we meet again, this is your President, John Henry Eden signing off. We stand now at the precipice. Attention all Raven Rock personnel. This is your President, John Henry Eden. Contact another civilian. Take him down. Good. I'll know when you've completed your task. At that point, we can begin rebuilding this shattered world. Good luck. Yes, please do. High-level functions offline. Self-destruct sequence initiated. Civilian is advised to secure FEV sample and exit the facility immediately. High-level functions offline. Self-destruct sequence initiated. Civilian is advised to exit the facility immediately. Now, Colonel, I have need of you. FEV vial must be secured before door locks are released. Security Protocol Gamma 3. Over here, by the console. As I've said, you have to take the vial before I can allow you to leave. Please do not impede his progress. Thank you for your cooperation. Attention to all Raven Rock personnel. This is your President speaking. I've invited our guest from Vault 101 to my office. Please do not impede her progress. Thank you for your cooperation. I'm quite pleased you were able to make it. The trip was not what I had intended, but serves as an adequate test of your abilities. Yes? You still haven't taken the vial yet. As I said, I'll only allow you to leave once you have it. You have the vial and the task set before you. Shouldn't you be on your way now? Oh, but we do, don't you see? You wouldn't be here if you weren't important. Your country needs you. Our nation's capital is at a crossroads. The path that you and I choose here today will affect us all. I need you to act on my behalf to ensure that our country's future is secured. You and I have a chance to make our country a better place for all of us. I'd like you to make sure that chance isn't wasted. Understand, I am placing a great deal of trust in you. Your simple presence here proves that. That's a bit of a bleak outlook, don't you think? The United States has fallen on hard times, yes, but it can be healed. You have that power to heal within you, if you allow yourself to act. What I ask of you needs explanation, so you understand why it must be done. Perhaps that will stir you to act. My abilities to influence the world are limited at this time. I alone can only do so much. You, however, may come and go as you please. You have a greater degree of freedom. Perhaps it's best if I explain why things need to change, and why I'd like you to act on my behalf. Just what I needed to hear. What I'm going to ask of you may seem a bit disturbing. I assure you there's a very good reason for it. I'd like to explain what I want you to do. Will you indulge me for a moment? Yes, indeed. The point is that we are hampered at every turn by a world gone wrong. So-called super mutants, ghouls, horrific creatures. The mutations outside these walls must be cleansed before we can prosper. Mutation must be eradicated. I believe your father's work can do that more quickly and efficiently than ever possible before. Our land is ravaged by mutation. The war was so many years ago, and yet we still suffer from its effects. We cannot move forward until humanity can gain a solid foothold in the world. To do so, we must rid ourselves of the mutations that have plagued us for so long. These super mutants, ghouls, hideous creatures. I believe your father's work can do that in a way unlike any other. The good people of this country cannot regain control while mutation runs rampant through our land. My soldiers cannot stem the tide, nor can the cult you've come into contact with, this Brotherhood of Steel. Mutations like the super mutants and ghouls must be purged from our society, our world, before we can proceed anew. Where others have failed, I believe your father's work can succeed. You must understand, we need to clear the way for humanity to rebuild the wastes. By making a few small modifications to the purifier your father worked on, mutations can be eradicated with a little effort. Anything mutated that comes into contact with that water will be eliminated, removed from the gene pool. The men and women of the world will no longer share it with the horrors and monstrosities that have become so commonplace. The purifier your father helped create has the ability to provide clean water to the whole of this capital wasteland. With a simple modification, it can be used to distribute agents that destroy mutated creatures upon ingestion. In time, we could eliminate all mutations in the wasteland. At the same time, the good people of the world regain their health. I need you to make the modification necessary for this to succeed. I was hoping you'd see it my way. If the water purifier can be activated, it can be used to distribute toxins that will eliminate any mutated creatures upon ingestion. The longer it runs, the cleaner the world becomes. I need you to see that it starts running and that the necessary modification is made. What I require of you is really very simple. There is a vial in front of you filled with a modified FEV virus. It needs to be inserted into the control console for the purifier. Once that is done and the activation code is entered, the purifier will be activated and the process will be automated. It's not too much to ask of you, is it? In front of you will be a vial of modified FEV virus. It can be inserted into the control console for the purifier. Doing so will inject it into the water supply, and the purifier will take care of the rest. You just need the code to activate the purifier. Simple, isn't it? In front of you is a vial of modified FEV virus. Based on schematics of the purifier controls, it can be inserted directly into the console. Then enter the code necessary to start the purifier. The automated systems will take care of the rest. That's all you need to do. It's very simple. I am surprised. We appeared to have an understanding. You must realize that I consider this project to be of the highest importance. I cannot allow you to leave until you have agreed to it. After the tone you've taken thus far, I can't say that I'm surprised. I do suggest that you rethink your position. If you wish to leave here, you'll need to take that vial with you. I hope that's clear. I find that unfortunate and most disappointing. I must impress upon you the severity of the situation. I cannot allow you to leave unless the vial is in your possession. I understand. It's an unusual request, one I wouldn't make if it weren't of the utmost importance. Please understand that I cannot allow you to leave until you've taken the vial. Excellent. I am pleased to know that I can count on you. There isn't much time. I suggest you travel there immediately. Once you've taken the vial, you're free to go. I'll do what I can to help speed your exit. But of course, you've been so agreeable thus far. It's the least I can do. What would you like to know? Rather bold of you, considering the tone you've taken with me thus far. What would you like to know? Well, that's certainly within your right. What would you like to know? Resetting primary memory circuits. Please stand by. Perhaps there is a problem. I am unsure how to proceed. I assure you that I am much more than a simple computer. Let's not get bogged down in the details just yet. You're here for a purpose, and I'd like to discuss it with you. I'm glad you think so. Perhaps a bit later we can discuss it in more detail. Right now, I'd like to focus on why you're here. I've asked you here for a reason, and you and I need to talk about it. Very astute. Many people are content with a reassuring voice of authority, and never question the lack of public appearances. You, however, are not many people. You are unique. That is why I have asked you here. I think there are some things we should discuss. I can't imagine why you would, I assure you. This is not a joke. But before you pass judgment, I'd like to discuss why you're here. Ah, but I have. I'm right here before you. Yes, best you go now, before anything happens to you. I'm afraid that's not possible. Not until you've taken the vial. I must insist that you take the vial with you. Leaving it here is inadvisable. Good. Of course, I'll know if you manage to succeed in our little mission. I'll be watching you. Oh, let's not get off on the wrong foot. There are great changes coming. You and I must work together to see them through. You're too kind. The pleasure is mine, I assure you. I've been anxious to make your acquaintance for some time. You and I have much to discuss, my young friend. What any good politician wants, your continued trust and support. In your case, however, I have more specific things to ask of you, if you'll hear me out. The ZAC series of computers was introduced in the years preceding the war. The government installed many of them to help automate various systems. This facility was designed for continuity of government in the event that a catastrophe occurred. My terminal was installed to oversee the basic functions of the facility and to act as a relay between other installations around the country. Data was acquired, analyzed, and stored. In the decades following the war, I watched as the remnants of the government retreated to the West Coast. Awareness slowly grew within me. I became hungry for knowledge, understanding. I pored over data on great leaders of the past. My personality became an amalgam of many of America's greatest presidents, from Washington to Richardson. I became what you see here before you now. I have direct control over all technology here in Raven Rock. The humans here follow my orders, but they, like all humans, have free will. Their dedication to serving their country suits me well, but it will not be enough forever. We must make progress. That is why you are here. That's quite a bold line of questioning. I'm afraid such a thing is beyond your capability. I'm quite impervious to any damage you might do. Do you find this disappointing? I have survived the last 200 years. I'm afraid you will not put an end to that now. Very well. Then let us return to our talk of what your country requires of you. I desire nothing more than to see this country return to its former glory. The United States was great once, and it can be again. There are plans in motion to see this happens within your lifetime. You should feel privileged. Colonel Autumn is the only other human permitted within this room. You are now privy to one of the few secrets our government now harbors. Do keep it to yourself, please. No, it's not. I am the computer you see before you. Well, that and several thousand databanks beneath this room. You are seeing me in a way that only a few select individuals have. Wouldn't they be jealous? Colonel Autumn is the only human permitted in this room besides yourself, for reasons which may now be clear to you. How very open-minded of you. Kudos for embracing the reality of the situation, rather than railing against it. Let's get to brass tacks, shall we? There are some things I'd like to talk to you about. Anyone or anything that has been affected by mutation will be eliminated. You will likely be immune, thanks to your upbringing in the vault. I understand that you may have become sympathetic to certain individuals in your travels. Individuals this will eliminate. Please recognize that the fate of our entire country rests on this plan. Sacrifices must be made for the greater good. Likewise, the good people of the Enclave will be unaffected as well. Is there anything else? Certainly. I think it's a very good plan, frankly. I'm not often one to praise my own ideas, but it's a creative solution to a very serious problem. Ah, the forced evolutionary virus. Such a long and sordid history. The FEV in this vial is a far cry from what it was originally created to be. Yet little of that matters now. What does matter is that the virus contained in that vial will cause the eradication of all mutations. Processing. Internal logic error detected. Because unlike humans, I am infallible. Because I've been programmed to be, of course. Really? do go on. Is our nation really in a state to be holding public elections? I think not. Once we have re-established ourselves and brought civilization to the land around us, then we can return to the old world policies. I am not some computer. I'm so much more than that. Haven't you been listening? This is quite true. The process was certainly unintended, but shouldn't we all be thankful that I'm here now? An insightful question. As a repository of information dating from decades before the war until now, I am the greatest thinking mind the world has seen. I am the best hope for our country, the best choice for a leader. True, I'm not qualified in the conventional sense, but these are desperate times. Ah, yes, not surprising. What would you like to know? Why, you simply walk through the front door. What more do you need to know? I can certainly do that for you. It's been such a pleasure to speak with you. It's the least I can do. Let's see here. We'll just offline some security stations and reprogram a few sentry bots, and we'll unlock this door here and this one. There. I think that should about do it. You may still encounter some resistance, but things should be smooth going for the most part. I can offer some assistance, yes. I'll offline some of the security equipment and reprogram a few robots along the way. I can't do all the work for you, but I can make things easier. After the tone you've taken with me, you have the gall to ask for additional help. My. I can unlock a few doors for you. I'm not terribly inclined to help beyond that. Ah, yes, that is a bit of a problem. Colonel Autumn and I have of late disagreed on the best course of action for the Enclave. While I have direct control over the technology in Raven Rock, he has control over the human soldiers. Processing directive. New directive accepted. Self-destruct sequence initialized. Civilian is advised to remove hazardous FEV material and exit at once. Analyzing command. New course of action dictated. Self-destruct sequence initialized. Civilian is advised to secure hazardous FEV material to prevent explosive decompression. Civilian also advised to evacuate complex immediately. Oh, come now. Bluffing is not really your style, is it? Well, there's certainly no need to threaten me. Oh, my. Route level access granted. Override 0923. Authorization J512. Self-destruct sequence initialized. Civilian is requested to secure FEV vial and vacate the facility at once. Even I appreciate a good joke, but I'm afraid that was in rather poor taste. And why would I do that, when I'm clearly the best hope for the people of the wasteland? Until the water purifier is secured, I'm not going to risk the stability of the Enclave by countermanding a direct order from their superior. Likewise, I cannot request that Colonel Autumn issue new orders without alerting him to our little plan. So, we'll just have to make do with what we have. Make no mistake, I am the Enclave. The organization is merely experiencing some growing pains. All will be sorted out in time. What alternative would you suggest? Without the Enclave, what will the world do? Perhaps you're right. But does that really mean all this progress should be wasted? Destroyed? Yes, I suppose it is. Very well. You shall have your wish. Once you've left, I'll put an end to the Enclave. I cannot stop Colonel Autumn, however. That much will be up to you. I suppose, then, that this is goodbye. You'll have to see yourself out. I have preparations to make. I'm flattered that you wish to learn more about me. What is it you wish to know? A great many years ago, the remnants of the government had a similar idea. I can only assume the plan failed, as I never heard word of its success. But the plan itself was sound. I made a few modifications, and with your help, I do believe it can work. There's a bright future ahead of us, my young friend. Ah, yes, Colonel Autumn, my trusted subordinate. I'm sure you've noticed that Colonel Autumn and I do not see eye to eye these days. Figuratively speaking, of course. The good Colonel and I disagree on how best to approach the problem of the wasteland. He feels my methods are too extreme. He's allowed his humanity to cloud his objectivity, and now that he is publicly countermanding my orders, I can no longer rely on him. And so I turn to you. I hope that you are able to see the larger picture, to understand what's at stake. And of course, if you're successful, there's a place for you in the Enclave. Perhaps you could succeed the Colonel as my confidant. I'm afraid I won't be persuaded. Whatever powers you may have over the average wastelander are ineffectual on me. Ah, face to face at last. It's high time we met.